9/11. The truth they don't want you to know. They told us it was simply two planes. They blamed terrorism. But what if everything you think you know about 9/11 is a lie? Prepare to question the official narrative, because we're diving deep into the evidence they tried to bury. On the very day of the attacks, in an interview, before the dust had even settled, Donald Trump dropped a truth bomb. He didn't buy the official story. He saw something else, something far more sinister. Trump, a man who knows steel and skyscrapers, stated plainly that bombs must have been involved. He understood the sheer strength of the World Trade Center, a strength that planes alone couldn't overcome. Trump wasn't just speculating. He understood the unique construction of the Twin Towers. These weren't ordinary buildings. They were built with an exterior steel frame, designed to withstand immense force. He pointed out that the towers had already survived a bombing in 1993. How could planes, he wondered, bring down structures that had already withstood a major terrorist attack? TrumpCommission.org believes the official 9/11 Commission was a whitewash, a cover-up orchestrated by the Bush administration. They see Trump's initial assessment as validation of their own research. This organization isn't alone. Architects, engineers, and physicists have come forward, presenting compelling evidence that explosives were used to bring down the towers. These experts point to the discovery of thermitic explosive residue at the World Trade Center site. Thermite, a highly incendiary compound, is capable of melting steel at incredible speeds. And it's not an easy chemical to obtain. But you know who had a ton of it. Yep, you guessed it. Then there's the mystery of World Trade Center Building 7. This 47-story skyscraper collapsed hours after the Twin Towers, despite not being directly hit by a plane. How could a steel-framed building simply crumble into its own footprint? The rabbit hole goes deeper. George W. Bush's brother Marvin worked for Securicom, the company responsible for security at the World Trade Center. Was this just a coincidence? And what about Larry Silverstein, who became the World Trade Center's landlord just weeks before the attacks? It is interesting to note that many potential buyers had withdrawn due to the building facing potential asbestos concerns. He profited billions from the insurance payout after the towers fell. Was he just lucky, or was he in on something bigger? Adding to the suspicion, the power to the World Trade Center was cut off for 24 hours just 2 days before the attacks. This was the only time in the tower's history that such a thing had happened. What was the real reason for this unprecedented outage? Could Trump, the man who questioned the official narrative from day one, be the one to finally expose the truth? He's communicated with architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth, acknowledging their concerns. Richard Gage, the founder of Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth, received an email from the Trump campaign stating that their advisors would investigate the claims made by the architects and engineers. The big question is, does Trump have any plans to reopen the 9/11 investigation? Will he finally expose the lies and bring justice to the victims and their families? They want you to believe the official story. They want you to forget. They want you to put a boot in their ass because it's the American way, which, if I'm at all being honest, that's a damn good song, a fine song. Now, moving on. Architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth have dedicated their lives to uncovering the truth about that day. They've analyzed the evidence, consulted with experts, and presented their findings to the world. Their research shows that the collapse of the World Trade Center towers was not caused by fire alone. They believe that explosives were used to bring down the buildings in a controlled demolition. The collapse of World Trade Center 7 is one of the most enigmatic aspects of that day, when this 47-story skyscraper was not hit by a plane at all, yet it collapsed in a symmetrical freefall. Experts say that the collapse of Building 7 is consistent with a controlled demolition. They point to the speed of the collapse, the symmetrical nature of the destruction, and the presence of molten metal in the rubble. Who benefited from the 9/11 attacks? The war in Afghanistan, the war in Iraq, the expansion of government surveillance, the Patriot Act, all of these things happened in the wake of 9/11. Some believe that the attacks were orchestrated by powerful individuals who wanted to advance their own agendas. They point to the connections between the Bush administration and the oil industry, the military-industrial complex, and the intelligence community. The mainstream media has largely ignored the evidence that contradicts the official narrative of 9/11. They've dismissed the conspiracy theories as fringe beliefs without giving them a fair hearing. Some believe that the media is complicit in the cover-up. They point to the fact that many media outlets are owned by large corporations that have close ties to the government. Remember Michael Moore? He directed Fahrenheit 9/11, a mainstream feature film. Yet since I've simply said 9/11 more than once, it's likely this video won't ever see the light of day. The victims' families have been fighting for justice for over 2 decades. They've demanded a new investigation into the 9/11 attacks, but their calls have been ignored. They deserve to know the truth about what happened to their loved ones. They deserve to see those responsible brought to justice. In fact, you know what? We all do. Every heartbroken, trust-broken, red-blooded used-to-vote American out there deserves closure, resolve, and peace of mind. The 9/11 attacks had a profound impact on the world. They led to the war on terror, the invasion of Afghanistan and Iraq, and the erosion of civil liberties. The world is a different place today and arguably less free because of it. Uncovering the truth is paramount to preventing whatever evil it was that caused this from ever causing such a tragedy again. This alone may truly be the very last thread of hope we as Americans have clung to since that idle Tuesday some 24 years ago. The truth about 9/11 is out there, waiting to be exposed. It's up to us to demand answers, to challenge the official narrative, and to unveil the lies. We must never forget the victims. We must honor their memory by seeking justice and unmasking the truth. The evidence is overwhelming. The official story doesn't add up. It's time to wake up and demand an honest investigation into 9/11. Share this video with everyone you know. Visit trumpcommission.org and 911experiments.org to learn more. Contact your elected officials and demand a new, independent investigation into the 9/11 attacks. The truth is out there, and together, we can expose it. Don't let them control the narrative any longer. Our future depends on it.